The University of South Africa prides itself for being the African university, shaping futures in the service of humanity. We congratulate all our students for having walked this journey with us. And today, we celebrate you for having successfully completed your qualifications. To you we say, Halala. To all our graduates and diplomandi in this ceremony, please pay attention to the following instructions. For degree qualifications, a graduations officer will signal degree candidates to rise and approach the stage. You will need to have your seat ticket and the yellow photography card in your right hand with your hood already draped over your shoulders. One of the official photography officers will take the yellow photography card from you. A graduations officer will then indicate to you where you need to wait at the bottom of the stairs and when you may proceed to go up onto the stage and stand on the mat with feet markers next to the podium. You will hand in your seat card to the dean or college representative. Turn and face the audience and look towards the photographer for your first on-stage photograph. The dean or college representative will announce your details and hand you back your seat card. You will then proceed towards the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor or Acting Vice Chancellor and kneel with your right knee on the stool. At this point, your degree will be conferred. You will then proceed to the next official who will congratulate you by shaking your hand. Continue towards the registrar standing at the end of the stage. Turn and face the audience and remember to stand on the mat with feet markers in front of the registrar and smile for the camera. A second on-stage photograph will be taken at that moment. Leave the stage by the stairs closest to the registrar. Proceed to the table at the far right to receive your certificate. After receiving your certificate, proceed down the stairs to the foyer area where a head and shoulders photograph will be taken. You will then be directed to return to your seat. For postgraduate and undergraduate diploma candidates, you will also be wearing your hoods before entering the hall. You will be signaled by a graduations officer to rise and approach the stage. You need to have your seat ticket and the yellow photography card in your right hand. A graduations officer will then indicate to you where you need to wait at the bottom of the stairs and when you may proceed to go up to the stage and stand on the mat with feet markers next to the podium. You will hand your seat card to the dean or college representative. Turn and face the audience and look towards the photographer for your first on-stage photograph. The dean or college representative will announce your details and hand you back your seat card. Proceed towards the registrar standing at the end of the stage. Stop in front of the registrar and stand on the mat with feet markers. Turn and face the audience. Your second on-stage photograph will be taken at that moment. Leave the stage by the stairs closest to the registrar. Proceed to the table on the far right of the stage to receive your certificate. After receiving your certificate, proceed down the stairs to the foyer area where a head and shoulders photograph
By the virtue of the powers vested in me as Acting Vice-Chancellor this evening, I constitute this gathering, a congregation of the University of South Africa for the celebration of the graduating students. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, family, we request that you join us in a silent prayer or meditation, or whatever form that you give thanks to a deity of your subscription, as we give thanks for the achievements that are being celebrated this evening. Could we have a moment of silence, please? Thank you. You may be seated. The Chancellor, in his absentia, His Excellency Dr. Mvuyelwa Thabo Mbeki, members of Council in the absentia in this hall, but all of whom are watching this ceremony, the Vice-Chancellor and Principal of UNISA in absentia, and in whom I'm in his stead, Professor Puleng Linkebula, to the graduates, family members, parents, sisters, brothers, children, grandparents, cousins, aunts, uncles, friends, and loved ones, guardians, supporters, funders, UNISA alumni, supervisors, and most importantly, to you, our graduating class of October-November 2020, Molweni. Goeienaand, good evening, everyone, Jambo. All protocol is observed. My name is Professor Tenjwe Meiwa. I'm the Acting Vice-Chancellor this afternoon, evening. Substantively, I'm the Vice Principal responsible for research, postgraduate studies, innovation, and commercialization. It's my pleasure to serve as the Acting Vice-Chancellor this evening. I thank you and all of you for making this evening possible, for making this ceremony possible. I honor and express my gratitude accompanied this evening with a number of colleagues that are on the stage who are officiating. We have the Acting Registrar, Mr. Bezaidenhout, Robert Bezaidenhout, on the extreme end. I'm pointing him out because you'll all be engaging with him. We have Vice Principal, Professor Motsama Tigane, who's the Vice Principal and shall be congratulating you. We overdo this at UNISA because of how important you are. We just bear with us as we congratulate you immensely this evening. We have Prof. Baloyi of the College of Graduate Studies, Prof. Nindi of the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, College representative. We have Dr. Naidu of the College of Human Sciences, Professor Roberts of the College of Education, Professor Dichaba, the College of Education, Professor Makwe of the College of Education, who's also sent by the Chancellor to present his address, Professor Ramdas of the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, Dr. Tlongwane of the College of Accounting Sciences, Professor Sishibe Makhato of the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, Mr. Msiza of the College of Accounting Sciences, Professor Msweli of the School of Business Leadership, Professor Mlauzi of the College of Economic Management Sciences, Professor Sheldon Hayes, who's a supervisor this evening, congratulating some of our Red Gown students, Professor Kelly Lowe, also a supervisor, Professor Maza, where's he? He's a supervisor, he's dodging. Okay, there he is. Professor Budeli Namakonde of the College of Law, Professor Ntwasa of the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, Professor Dube of the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, Professor Kelly of the College of Human Sciences, Professor Krizenga of the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, and of course we celebrate some of our supervisors, Dr. Mnaha and Dr. Nema Dozi. All protocol is observed. For colleagues that I may have missed, I probably will acknowledge you later. But the reason that I'm calling out all these names, it may sound too long for you, but we're recording you. We're recording this session, and it's going to be on the World Wide Web. So with that said, by the time that we finish here, you can check yourselves out on YouTube, because we're recording this. So we're putting you on our archives. You've got to be in your best behavior. This evening we have 280 graduates, 252 that, according to our records, are going to walk the graduation stage. That's red carpeted, just recently cleaned, so don't sleep. We've cleaned it for you to ensure that it's on point. And we will be taking about 2 hours, more or less, for this session. And because it is that short, I'm pleading that the very first graduate is given the same honor as the very last one. The reason they're so far apart and will take 2 hours is because of the qualifications, and their surname is not because they're not important to us. This ceremony has 5 parts. This is the first part that I'm doing. The second part shall be the address by Prof. Magwe, who's sent by the Chancellor, who is the tutelar head of the university, to present his message. The next part will be the hooding that is inclusive of where we're standing. There's a Nila there. It's ceremonial in nature as a form of you being conferred the degree. It's only for degree purposes. You put on one knee or both knees and not sit on that chair. It does look like a comfortable chair, but it's a Nila. After that process, you go straight to the extreme right, your left, where the registrar, Bezaidunut, is at, who will be virtually hooding you. And once you're done with that drape, that will be the part that's quite exciting. But please celebrate as much as you actually have to for our records to be good. You're late, whatever the case may be, but I'm pleading that when each graduate is standing next to this podium, where they are fit here, we probably will not see the marks of the fit, face the front, because we're taking pictures for our archives. We've invested in 7 cameras for you. So don't spoil our archives. We're making history here. We're making memories. So you do that, but then once you've done all of that, we will get to actually will have been done with the entire ceremony. The colors, ladies and gentlemen, family, that you have are not just random. The colors that you see on stage very much reverberate the colors of our graduates. They go in line with the colleges, so each color represents something that please go and read about. It is all on our website, but it's related to the qualifications we're conferring this evening. Today we have, I must celebrate more women than men who are graduating. Go girls, well done. We celebrate men as well, well done, gentlemen. Today is our last ceremony of 2022. So we've saved the best for the last. That's you. Hence, how we ending with a bang. 6 red-gowned graduates. And the supervisors, most of them are here, of course. This evening, I'm delighted to be reminding you that we just 2 months before we go into 2023, wherein we'll be 150 years old. We've been in existence for that long, and we have almost 500,000 students that are registered with us. Some universities actually don't even get this in 30 years, the number that we have in just 1 year. That's how huge we are. We have 31 campuses across all 9 provinces, and beyond that, we have campuses in the Horn of Africa, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Somalia, and we're actually expanding. We have more than half of all Black African chartered accountants in this country being graduated by UNISA. This is just snippets. I'll come back to once you've draped and degrees, diplomas conferred on you, to share a bit more of who we are. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm therefore pleased to say that when I was walking through here, I was very excited to see how the heels are on point, to see that the nails are well polished, and so suits that you're wearing. So when you come up here, be in your best smile and ensure that nothing's sticking out of your nose or anything of that kind to spoil our archives. You've reached the climax. This is your culmination, it's your zenith. It is one of your great goals that you've reached this evening, and today you make yourself proud, but you make us on the stage and family and friends and loved ones very proud. We're very proud of you. Today you graduate. Today you become better than you were previously. And as a mark of respect, we request that the very first graduate that shall walk the graduation stage till the last one, as I said earlier, is respected and given the same respect as much as it possible can. At this juncture, I'm going to call upon Prof. Mpine Makwe, who's sent by His Excellency, our tutelar head, who's responsible ceremonially for graduations, Dr. Thabo Mvuyelwa Mbeki, to come forward, Prof. Makwe, to present his message. Thank you. I've got to apologize. My script says Prof. Makwe. So I'm very studious about these things, but it's not Prof. Makwe, it's Prof. Mlaudzi, who's doing, sorry, apologies, Chancellor, I know he's watching. Profuse apologies, Mr. President. And our Chancellor is Professor Mlaudzi, who's presenting your message. Sorry.
Good evening. Let's try again. Good evening. Molweni. Goeienaand. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, UNISA office bearers on the stage, our staff members from support departments who have helped to get this occasion organized, parents, guardians, family, friends, special guests, and our esteemed graduates. It is an honor and privilege for me to deliver this Chancellor's address on behalf of our Chancellor, His Excellency, Dr. T.M. Mbeki. Yes, we are celebrating the achievements of UNISA graduates here in Cape Town. And as the Acting Vice Chancellor has indicated, this is the very last of our ceremonies for 2022. I must say that we have gathered here because of you, graduates. Through your resilience, your hard work, your sacrifices, you are the ones who brought us together here this evening. And the presence of your family members, your spouses, your children, your special guests, friends, and other relatives make this hall quite brightened. The title of my address is very simple. I want you to reflect on your expectations, or I must say the expectations that society has on you from today when you leave this hall, and the expectations that we as the university, your alma mater, have on you. I listened to the Principal and Vice Chancellor when she was addressing us this morning, and she kept on saying that this is a university that produces leaders. Like a farmer, you had sown the seeds a few years ago when you made a choice to register with UNISA. Some of you might be coming back for your second degree, but we do have some who are here for their first degrees. You worked very hard through your study material. I'm sure you remember the year 2020 when COVID immediately forced every one of us to think differently in terms of assessments. I'm sure some of you tested the first online exam through UNISA in 2020 if you were still doing your undergraduate studies. We do have our graduates in red, others are in black but below the red, who have studied for their masters. They may not have spent time preparing for online exams, but equally so, they had to interact with their supervisors in order to get to where they are today. We do know that studying through a distance mode is very daunting, it's interesting, and others say, wow, it's enriching. It requires the highest level of discipline, commitment, perseverance, and above all, support from your family. It is very important. You have made it through, and we are very proud of you. And I want you to sit back and reflect and ask yourself, do you think through this journey you have become the leader that UNISA expects you to be? Leadership is not the position that you occupy. Leadership is the ability to manage your own space as well. And if you compare yourself to students from the University of Cape Town, Stellenbosch, and other places who get to be taught, and you reflect on what had gone through in your journey, you would realize that you were a leader in your own right. You have led your own education with the guidance of your lecturers. As a result, you are a living proof that it is possible to complete a qualification at UNISA and transit in other phases of your life. Yes, you deserve a round of applause. I don't think it's hard enough. You deserve it. Just so that when you leave here, you are proud and you can walk tall, I will take you through some memories of where we come from as a university. This University of South Africa was established in this province in June 1873. It was known as the University of Cape of Good Hope. It changed its name into UNISA somewhere in 1916, and it moved to Pretoria in 1918. And under its auspices, several university colleges emerged, which later became autonomous universities that we have today in our higher education landscape. At that time, the higher education system was pegged on a federal system, and it is through that federal system where colleges were linked to UNISA, which was responsible for examinations nationally. In 19 UNISA issued 138 degrees to 6 colleges for candidates who underwent examination at the time. The university colleges that existed at the time broke away between 1921 and 1922 to become independent universities that today we know as the University of Witwatersrand, the University of Pretoria, the erstwhile University of Natal, University of Free State, Rhodes University, and Potchefstroom, which is now the University of Northwest. If we fast forward to 1959, it is at that point where UNISA became the world's first correspondence university, using study guides, cassette tapes, and limited face-to-face tuition. The acting Vice Chancellor has informed you that this university is turning 150 years. And as you cross this carpet this evening, if this is your first qualification, you then become an alumni of this great university by virtue of walking past the Vice Chancellor and getting the cap from her. You become the alumni. By virtue of crossing over, if you are a diploma student, you become an alumni of this university. There are other illustrious alumni who are globally acclaimed. This morning, the Vice Chancellor and Principal made reference of Rolihlahla Nelson Mandela and a few others, just to prove to you that leadership of your own space will work for you. If you look at the story of Nelson Mandela, soon after he was incarcerated, he decided to study further through UNISA to complete the task he could not accomplish at the University of Fort Hare. Mandela completed his Bachelor of Arts degree at UNISA. I think it was in 1942. He did not stop there. He enrolled at Wits for his LLB, which eventually was conferred on him in 1989. That is to show you that UNISA has been at the forefront of growing leaders in this country. The list is endless. Desmond Tutu, leaders of political parties, Julius Malemas, they are alumni of this university. Advocate Mkwebane, if you want me to be controversial, they are alumni of this university. Brian Molefe, Judge Pius Langa, those people studied through this university. That should show you that we are a university that grows leaders. So the challenge that should be presented to you tonight is, what are you going to do when you leave this hall? There is comfort now, you are so relaxed. But when you leave this hall, the challenges that face our society remain. And we expect you to use the education you've acquired at UNISA to try and contribute towards solution to these problems. South Africa is grappling with 3 key problems for decades now, or challenges, if I put it nicely. We have the challenge of poverty. We have the challenge of inequality. We have the challenge of unemployment. The World Bank report shows that 55% of South Africans, that is about 33 million of them, they are living below the national upper poverty line of 1,417. This was adjusted just 2 months ago. It was 1,335. Of that number, we still have more than 13 million South Africans who represent 23% of the population. They are living below 663 rands per person per month. That reflects the scale of poverty. We have to find solutions as graduates of UNISA. We have to lead in our own spaces. The situation of poverty is compounded by economic factors. Right now, our CPI, Consumer Price Index, is showing a big shift from 5.7% in January. Right now, it's at 7.5%. That talks to price of food, in our retailers. Similarly, with the interest rates, we just went through a 0.75 basis points through the Reserve Bank, which means the cost of borrowing has gone up. The cost of maintaining debts has gone up. That speaks to the level of indebtedness that communities have. So use your education to assist colleagues to emerge from such situations. Let me say, the 2022 World Bank report, which focused on the southern region, has flagged South Africa as one of the countries that is so unequal. 68% of the income that is made in this country, it is taken by the richest 20% of the population. Yet, the bottom 40% of the population, they only share 7% of national income. That is the scale of inequality that we hope that when you leave this hall, you will try and reflect and hopefully use your education to assist in this challenge. If I look at unemployment as a third challenge, we have 33.9% unemployment rate in the second quarter of 2022, and that is just a 0.6% drop from the first quarter. What does that mean? 15.5 million people in South Africa are the ones who are employed, and they are feeding the rest of us, if I speak in that particular language. Our unemployment rate is so high, and it's even worse at the lower age groups. Young people at 15 to 24, they are facing a 61% unemployment rate. So we need you to think entrepreneurially. We need you to use your education to inform change. If you can't start your business, you can use your education to help a small and medium-sized entrepreneur next to you to improve their business for the benefit of all of us. The economy is not looking better. Figures released last month from Statistics SA show that 8 of the 10 sectors that anchored our economy, they are not improving. In other words, they are not increasing in terms of GDP. That says a lot about our future. We need to grow the economy, and we need you to put your hands on the deck as graduates of UNISA. You need to exercise leadership. You have exercised leadership throughout the journey when you started registering for your qualification. And today, we are celebrating you, but we are sending you off to the world as leaders representing our university. Let me leave you with the following takeaways. I want you to reflect on your life and try and live that life with a clearly defined purpose. So your purpose should determine where you need to be and at what time. Always remember that your fear to embrace change in life comes at a high cost, not only to yourself, but to those who would have benefited from your courage. And the image you create about yourself when you leave this hall is the image that will follow you. If you want to be a change agent, that is what you're going to be able to do. But if you cross this stage and start doubting the qualification we have conferred on you, you will not be living the values of UNISA. The Vice Chancellor and Principal said, this is the University of Growing Leaders. Don't look for shortcuts when you face discouragement. Your vision involves many tough struggles and fights. Don't quit simply because the journey has become too much to bear. Finally, may you all move a step forward and become impactful citizens whom we as UNISA, your parents who are gathered here tonight, your friends who are witnessing this occasion, and the communities where you come from, they can be proud of you. Always remember that you stand on the threshold of possibility and opportunity. And I wish to leave you with this quote from Gail Brooke Bucket. I quote, "I do not ask to walk smooth paths, nor bear an easy load. I pray for strength and fortitude to climb the rock-strewn road. Give me such courage, and I can scale the hardest peaks alone and transform every stumbling block into a stepping stone," unquote. I wish you all the success that life can offer to a human being on behalf of the Chancellor. I thank you. Siyabulela.
Thank you, Professor Mlaudzi, on behalf of the Chancellor, for a very educational and a call through the speech of what's expected of our graduates. It is indeed something that they need to heed a call to. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, by virtue of the powers entrusted to me this evening, I shall now proceed to confer the degrees and the diplomas of the university on the candidates whose names appear in the program, and I request the representatives of the colleges to present the candidates to me. Colleagues.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Eileen Eloise Brandenkap for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request her supervisor, Professor Elmarie Christinger, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In a thesis entitled Consumer Data Protection Framework and Maturity Model towards assisting the South African government with improving the information security compliance awareness of consumers, she makes a valuable contribution to the body of knowledge in the field of information security and compliance by proposing a design science-inspired consumer data protection framework, maturity model, and baseline practitioner toolkit to assist the South African government with implementing consumer information security compliance awareness training initiatives. Expert reviews are conducted and the results indicate that the framework and the maturity model components are relevant, valuable, and practical, and that the adoption thereof will significantly contribute towards the consumer information security compliance awareness in South Africa, and also add value to the information security compliance awareness abroad. The co-supervisor was Professor Marlene.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Eileen Eloise Brandenkap the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
Put your knees on her, yeah? I'll confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Eileen Eloise Brandenkap. Congratulations, Dr. Brandenkap.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Toria Kamlish for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Professor Maza, her supervisor, has requested that I read her citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In a thesis entitled Laser-Assisted Fabrication of Metallic Nanoparticles-Based Nanofluids with Enhanced Thermal Conductivity, Experimental and Molecular Dynamic Studies, she investigates the physical properties of various nanofluids and validates the remarkable enhancement of their thermal conductivity. She contributes to the body of knowledge by using laser and nuclear-based technologies to engineer advanced nanofluids. In addition, her research findings lead to the development of a novel class of nanocoolants for heat transfer management in automotive engines, space nanoelectronic coolants, as well as efficient heat removal in nuclear reactors and miniaturized electronics in general. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Toria Kamlish the Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Toria Kamlich. Congratulations, Dr. Kamlich.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Tainim Sesengwa for the degree of Doctor of Laws. I request his supervisor, Professor M. Kelly-Low, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In her thesis entitled Unconscionability and a Breach of a Negative Stipulation in the Underlying Contract as Exceptions to the Autonomy Principle of Demand Guarantees in South Africa, she examines how well the breach of a negative stipulation and unconscionability exceptions are developed under South African law. For guidance, she turns to English and Australian law, respectively. She also considers international practice rules of the International Chamber of Commerce and the UNCITRAL Convention dealing with demand guarantees. She concludes that South African law does not accept the unconscionability exception and that the negative breach stipulation is not a true exception, but rather a special ground upon which a beneficiary of the demand guarantee may be prohibited from demanding payment in terms of the guarantee.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Tainim Sesengwa the degree of Doctor of Laws.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Laws on Tiny Musasengwa. Congratulations, Dr. Musasengwa.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Abudu Salam Waiswa for the degree of Doctor of Laws. I request his supervisor, Prof. J. Helden Hayes, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In his thesis entitled An Evaluation of the Strengths and Weaknesses of South Africa's Corporate Rescue Regime as a Potential Benchmark for Uganda, he analyzes the strengths and weaknesses of South African Business Rescue Framework and compares this to the position in Uganda, where liquidation is the predominant procedure used by financially distressed companies. Ultimately, it is recommended that Uganda's policymakers should benchmark on the South African system to reform and modernize Uganda's corporate rescue framework. To quote the examiners, a highly commendable feature of the thesis is the author's valiant and most successful attempt to present the recommendations in the form of draft legislative text. I am so proud of you. Congratulations.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Abudu Salam Waiswa the degree of Doctor of Laws.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Laws on Abudu Salim Maiswa. Congratulations, Dr. Maiswa.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Resti Kamya Mogeza for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I was the candidate supervisor, and it is now my privilege to read the citation in support of the conferment of her degree. In her thesis entitled Leadership in a Transitioning Higher Education, Landscape from Traditional to Digitalization of Teaching and Learning in Uganda, Ms. Mogeza used the interpretive phenomenological analysis to explore the lived experiences and adaptations of leaders in a transitioning higher education landscape amidst digitalization in Uganda. Her findings established that while there had existed various digital strategies pre-COVID-19, higher education leadership struggled iteratively to leverage them in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. Her study concluded that while higher education was metamorphosing into a virtual landscape, the existing traditional face-to-face structural setup and inadequate strategic leadership representation is a major barrier to digitalization of higher education, and it undermines the positionality and competitiveness of the Ugandan higher education sector in the global village. Based on these findings, she designed a framework to assist leaders manage the transition from the face-to-face to the digitalization of higher education. I'm very proud of you. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Resti Kamya Mogeza the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I need a hug first. Then you can go.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Resti Kamya Mogeza. Congratulations, Dr. Mogeza.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Alicia Neva Weber for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. The candidate supervisor was Professor J.A. Badenhorst, and the co-supervisor was Professor J.O. Cilliers. And it is now my privilege to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In her thesis entitled Internal Supply Chain Integration in Omnichannel Retailers, a Dynamic Capabilities Perspective, she investigated the difficulties of the integration of a vast network of channels and functions to create a seamless shopping experience for customers of omnichannel retailers. By applying the strategic management theory of the dynamic capabilities view, DCV, she explored the questions of which dynamic capabilities facilitate the internal supply chain integration of omnichannel retailers through a multi-method qualitative study. The findings make a unique contribution as retail managers can use the dynamic capabilities list to appraise, identify, and prioritize the development of capabilities. It also makes a unique contribution by being among the first to take an end-to-end approach in the investigation of internal omni-channel supply chain integration. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Alicia Neva Weber the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Alicia Neva Weber. Congratulations, Dr. Weber.
Madam Vice-Chancellor, Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, Bernard Vivius received the degree of Master of Science. Congrats.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Laws. Mukhadi Olga Morata. Anthony Peter McMini.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, Ndebogazi Lali receives the degree of Bachelor of Science Honours.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours. Lucretia Claudine Plakis.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours. Robin Cornelius. Verushka Lauren Forbes, degree obtained with distinction. Brond Beatrice Mueti. Thando lwethu Ndabeni.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Honours. Leandre Livona Roman. Martin Tapera.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Honours Bachelor of Education. Sulen Lisanne Yeverts. Carmen Judith Humphreys. Tracy Lee Peterson. Sorry. Miriam Sipelele Sandlana. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, Talmari Meyer received the degree of Honours Bachelor of Education, specialization in psycho-educational support. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Education Honours. Nasreen Hendricks. Nonkosi Mdiza. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Education. Suzanne Victoria Borlas. Melissa Jane Brockstein. Bridget Wendy Cotton. Kayla Marisa February. Taryn Marie Ferreira. Anja Grief, degree obtained with distinction. Lauren Hammers. Candice Lube. Matuto Mphoso. Ramonde Andrea Müller. Radia Palmer. Algendra Macklin Ramsden. Shafika Rawad, degree obtained with distinction. Megan Merijo Road. Mengha Said. Lolita Jolene Skuman. Annette Swanepoel. Kuthar Vili. Sneed Talula Laban. Samantha Anthea Abbott. Alex de Villiers. Victor Graham Fernandez. Abdul Malek Gaffilden. Brittany Jade Gami. Anastasia Michaela Gomez. Aiden Koukamp. Malika Lawrence. Mohammed Noor Olivier. Jamie Natalie Roman. Sadika Stahi, degree obtained with distinction. Chantal Swart, degree obtained with distinction. Yanel Louise van Roen. Rolanda Laurentia Hodman. Zuko Humphrey Kama. Karen Chantal Petersen. Rudy Tanisha van Aert, degree obtained with distinction.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Administration. Janine Deborah Jacobs. Nandipa Beauty Ndumela. John Philippus Anthony Opperman. Yoli Swachukwa. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration. Jonathan Ricardo Abrams, the degree is obtained with distinction. Muhammad Amin Basadin. Tembisa Diringa. Nosipo Sibyl Jongwana. Megan Latehan. Elizabeth Koli Soanombeu. Darian James Peterson. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Tracy Johnson. Ian Garneth Africana. Carol Ann Bianca Bernard. Ashley Lee Baron. Romain Vers Bequin, degree obtained with distinction. Mariska Bester. God knows Anderson Chadenga. Gerard Walter Daniels. Angelique Dominic de Klerk. Gavin Dana, degree obtained with distinction. Michael Douglas Farrell, degree obtained with distinction. Andres Gustav Stefanas Hoos. Fuyolwetu Kola. Zebedia Kwasira. Mohammed Dawo Henderson, degree obtained with distinction. Wasima Herabai. Lariz Hofeld. Lezanda Jafta. Pumela Jimonti. Tandeka Miriam Kolele, degree obtained with distinction. Tracy Jane Lamore. Relebohile Likata. Mandilake Madubela. Mapotiele Molteno Pe Dimashian. Christian William Masin. Neil Matthews, degree obtained with distinction. Temba Mbombe. Chwene Charlotte Msiska. Bronwyn Verushka Peterson. Nozuko Pokolo. Nompumelelo Patricia Ramakokobu. Tasvin Mone Rake. Jared Slabet. Michael Brian Stachink. Quintin Swart. Fosi Samuel Tinane. Malone Ashwell Reutor Foster. Brandon Thomas Williams. Wendy Williams, degree obtained with distinction. Elizna Wilmot.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor's in Accounting Sciences. Cynthia Ntombiabo Boy. Olga Daisy Auxilia Chaturuka. Peter Marinas Compion. Elton Stewart Klassen, a degree obtained with distinction. Wadzanai Mubwandarika. Grace Mushati. Patrick Nyashanu. Bradley Grant Charles. Ines Johannes van Heestien.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Laws. Jami Alison Botha. Rene Daniel Brains. Keisha Bush. Karen Davies. Mogamat Ziad Esau. Weziwe Benedicta Ngabi. Fuyani Richard Green. Taurai Kanyile, degree obtained with distinction. Sumbezo Oscar Machava. Tovela Prudence Mani. Lubabalo Nelson Bengo. Lane Charlene Miller. Nomfumaneko Mpantani. Itumeleng Lupo Nto. Ronald Munari Nsani. Ibrahim Said. Linda Zaula. Eunice Frankenfeld. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Katie Teresa Bedford, degree obtained with distinction. Sinenhlanhla Dlamini. Saja Koopman. Makwinit Alicia Greino. Catherine N. McAllister. Nolusindiso Cynthia Nkawule. Kathleen Antonia Lee Peterson. Requil Anelda Williams.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Baccalaureus Technologiae: Escal Francois Fricks, Tandabantu Myland Ndlovu, Kuliselwa Beauty Kobochoba. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Science: Vanessa Nasra Treta, Roso Rihanna Pinedel, Amelia Dionisio, Anton Munich, degree obtained with distinction.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Science in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences: Willem Karel Björkes, Alanda Redley, Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Baccalaureus Technologiae: Marlene Peterser Smith, degree obtained with distinction. Zimbonge Jeanette Khasi or Khasi. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Consumer Sciences. Kristen Nicolette Prinsloo. Madel van der Westhuizen, degree obtained with distinction. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Marsha Cohen-Koche.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Social Work. Chantel Bianca Johnson. Nosiseko Lucas. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Caitlin van Schalwijk received the degree of Bachelor of Musicology. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Micheline Oriad Bucas. Sherry Lee Bali, degree obtained with distinction. Malika Clark. Susan Gordo. Vuyolwethu Jacqueline Jack. Henry Euster. Vilma Robin Lothian, degree obtained with distinction. Dunyiswa Manyamalala. Zvinisei Moira Mazuisa. Noxolo Hazel Mdanga. Varentia Stephanie Plakis. Samantha Tansi. Nicola Elizabeth van Rensburg, degree obtained with distinction. Patricia De Bruyn. Annalie Lamprechts. Sivuyisiwe Siphokazi Myoyo. Taryn Jade Williams. Carmen Foch. Wendy Rachel Fredrickson, degree obtained with distinction. Imelda Shailene Masaiti, degree obtained with distinction. Mahali Nale Mamolete Molemohi. Tamara Sokunenza.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the diploma candidates will now be introduced to you. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Tato Felix Mukwane Mbukwe receives the postgraduate diploma.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidate receives the postgraduate diploma in the College of Accounting Sciences. Giola Hanslow.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates receive a postgraduate diploma in the College of Economic and Management Sciences. Lulama Howard Fundakubi. John O'Reilly.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the postgraduate diploma in the College of Education. Mispa Chidu Masiswa, diploma obtained with distinction. Alzana van Skalkwyk, diploma obtained with distinction.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, Sokana Vetezu receives the National Diploma.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, Walid Soni receives the diploma in the College of Science, Engineering and Technology. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, Petras Stephanas Yochobas Pretorius receives the National Diploma.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the diploma in the College of Law. Jade Natasha Filson. Sinokolo Wendy Mfihlo. Mfundo Bernard Ntoni. Sheldon Derley Opperman. Aphelele Agnes Ponko. Patrick Lawrence Raymond. Martha Maria Rousseau.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates receive a diploma in the College of Economic and Management Sciences. Gloria Nokuzola Jezile. Nazli Losper. aphiwe Mgugunyeka. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates receive a national diploma. Martinez Andres Loe Mare. Chimangadzo Hangwele Nefumbada.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidate receives the diploma in the College of Accounting Sciences. Aisha Abrahams, a diploma obtained with distinction.
Thank you. We're very proud of you graduates and have had to wait for the very last graduate to be seated. That's how much we value. It is my honor, singularly this afternoon, evening, and of course we've stuck to the 2 hours that we promised. We're efficient. Don't believe what people say. It's my honor this evening to render these congratulatory remarks to you graduates of all the colleges that we've honored this evening. You are part of an amazing more than 50,000 students that we've graduated in 2022. That's a huge number. Other universities will have all their students not graduating, but who are in their books, making up this number, plus the visitors that come to the university, plus their staff, gardening staff, plus the service providers at UNISA. That's just the number we graduate and put to the labor market. So this graduation season and this year, we have you to congratulate, but also ourselves for having made this contribution not only to this country, but to the continent and abroad. We have 22 alumni chapters around the world that have been established beyond the borders of this continent. Every UNISA graduate is remarkable to us. And many are to be found in a number of senior levels of society that Professor Mlauzi earlier on made reference to, and that he's listed. But from this province in particular, I just want to remind you, should you not be aware, that the former Minister of Finance, Trevor Manuel, who is a UNISA, we trained him. The ex-Auditor General and Chief Executive Officer of the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants, Terence Nombebe, we trained him. Mokgoeng, who needs no introduction, just exited the High Constitutional Court of South Africa, we trained him. The retired judge, Mseneke, deputy judge, chief judge, we trained him. Who else did we train? The money that you have in your pockets right now, it's overseen by a governor that we trained. The governor of the South African Reserve Bank, we trained him. Wow, I could take you through about an hour telling you who we've trained. So you've joined this alumni cohort that's very important, and we say congratulations to you. Graduates, I'm sure you must be having a lot of pride in you because you've made it. You finally got it. And of course, there's a lot of expectation, as it's been expressed by the Chancellor through Professor Mlauzi, that we have a lot of expectations on you. And for me, this evening, with my colleagues, we want to congratulate the fact that I don't recall having had 5 of the 6 red-gowned doctoral students being women. All of you, you've demonstrated character, you've demonstrated being not only open-minded, otherwise you wouldn't have walked the graduation stage being red carpeted in the fashion that we've done this evening. And for that, we want to believe that you are an embodiment of what our Chancellor, whose legacy is celebrated, that he thinks and he says. He expects you to be ethical, to have integrity, and I just want to quote him once more. I'll bore a number of people, but you possibly have not heard this quote. This is the message he says I must send to graduates. Our open quotes. I think you are a much happier person if you say, even if I get involved in politics, I'm only doing so in order to serve the people. You will sleep much easier not serving yourself, but having done so, serving the people. Even if you've not succeeded in serving the people, at least you've tried. You've not stolen anything. And you've not robbed the people, close quotes. I don't have to say much about that quote, given the context we're living in right now. Immense corruption. Our Chancellor, who's exemplified himself with integrity and the legacy that he holds, says to you, your sweats, your tears, your blood, your integrity, not only of yourselves, but of your family members, the hard-earned work that you've received, don't spoil it with being involved in corruption. Today, you've fulfilled your dreams, but not only of your own, also of your parents, of your loved ones, of your children, of everybody that looks up to you and celebrates with you this evening. Now, graduates, if you could be on your feet, please, for a few minutes, and face your entire body to your left, the people that have made you, continue to make you, that have come this evening to celebrate you. These are the people they've worked behind the scenes to ensure that and be decisive in their support, sometimes for not just saying anything and allow you to do your studies and your assignments and your portfolios, hence you're here, and to ensure that you attain your dreams. Say thank you to them. And of course, they've not only supported you through the emotional support, but through finances and spaces and a whole lot number of efforts that they have given in. Hence, we express gratitude in the way that Thessalonians 5 verse 18 says, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. And as you face the front, please face the front graduates here on the stage. You have just a few colleagues who've managed to come and honor you, but behind them, some of whom are not on the stage, but are in this hall and have been working tirelessly for many months on end. We plan these ceremonies a year in advance. They are instead of a whole lot number of colleagues who mark your assignments, who are your e-tutors, who produce the certificates that you have in your hands right now, who actually have made it possible for you to have this graduation and this ceremony celebrated in this fashion. I want to singularly thank the administrative staff in these divisions, the graduation division by the registrars, the head, the members of staff in the Department of Institutional Advancement and Corporate Affairs, the Department of Facility Management, Multimedia Center of University, but also of this church, the Western Cape Regional Office, who've worked tirelessly under the guide and guidance of Dr. Janssen, who's just recently published a book, by the way, and a whole lot number of colleagues who couldn't make it. They say they send greetings and congratulations to you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, come welcome me as we welcome and actually usher to the world the alumni of UNISA. Let's see a noise as we congratulate to you. Present to you the class of 2022 graduating. Let's hear some noise. You may be seated. We've come to the end of our ceremony, exactly 2 hours, 3 minutes after I've promised that we'll do less than 2.5 hours. We're very efficient at UNISA, I must promise you that. On the last page of the program is the national anthem, which we shall sing when everybody is on their feet. And after we've sang the national anthem, please remain standing as I dissolve the congregation and allow the procession to leave the hall. Only will you leave after the procession have left. And can I invite the 6 red-gowned doctors to follow the procession at the end and join the club. Well done. By the virtue of the powers entrusted upon me this evening as the Acting Vice-Chancellor, I dissolve this congregation of the University of South Africa. Thank you.